What is going on, YT? It is your boy Diego, but you can call me Chancho, and thank you guys so much because we finally did it. We have now reached 200 subscribers on the channel. That is insane, guys. Thank you guys so much. And YouTube finally came through and they finally sent me another plaque. You guys are seeing it on the screen right now. I put it up right next to my 20 subscriber plaque. And if we're being quite honest, I think the 20 subscriber plaque looks a little bit better than the 200, but you know what? I don't mean to be picky. I'm just glad that we finally made it here. Thank you guys so much if you're new, and welcome to the channel. And since there are a lot of new subscribers that don't know me that well, maybe, I want to go ahead and share with you guys a story that has haunted me to this day and changed me in an irreversible way that I don't think could ever be expressed enough. And this is the story of my first job and how I got attacked by a cockroach. Now, a lot of you guys may not know this, but I used to work for my first job at a really big buffet chain that I'm not going to name drop because if I do, I might just get sued by them. I don't know. Sometimes people get crazy like that. But I'm 19 years old. It's 2015 and I've only been working there for like a month. So, you know, I have a twinkle in my eyes and I'm ready to take on the world, and I'm working on a Sunday. It's the busiest day at this restaurant chain and there's a lot of people, it's crowded, and I'm doing the best that I can, right? Well, this lady at one of my tables, she calls me over and she goes, "Psst, psst, Mijo, come here." And I was like, okay. And she's like, "Look, I don't want you to make a scene or freak out, but I just saw a cockroach and it passed right under my little feet." And I was like, oh my gosh. Again, I'm new. I don't know what protocol is. So I'm like, you know what? I should probably tell my manager about this, right? Now, he's all the way in the office. But before I have the chance to take my 90-pound body all over to the restaurant manager, everybody starts freaking out. It's like a wave of people like that start jumping up and freaking out and looking down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my target. That's where the cockroach is headed, right? So as soon as the people start freaking out and it passes by them, I'm like, oh my gosh. All right, I start chasing. I follow where the crowd is freaking out, where like everybody's looking down at their little feet. I end up maybe 2 sections down, and there's an older guy, and he's, you know, enjoying his mashed potatoes, enjoying his food, and he's just having a great time. Now he's sitting next to one of those little half walls, but it's one of those little mini walls where you're sitting at the table, there's a half wall, and it's probably like up to here, and then on the other side there's another table. So he's eating his dinner, and then all of a sudden you just see the thing. It's huge, guys. It's like a hippo. It's like a rhino, and it just climbs over and it lands right next to this man. The man looks at it, he goes, and he's looking at it dead in the eyes. He was looking into his soul. And then he goes, oh, and I'm seeing this unfold, and I'm thinking he's about to freak out because there's a giant cockroach eye level with him, right? Instead of freaking out, you know what he goes? He goes, "Mijo, it's right here." And I'm like, oh, okay. So I pull up, I bring my broom, I have my dustpan, I'm ready to attack, right? And I'm like, well, I don't want to swing at it because it's right next to a customer. You know, customer is always right, number one. So then he goes, no, just kill it. Just swing it. Swing right at it. I don't care. I'm eating my mashed potatoes. I could not care less. I'm like, all right, fine. So here's where it starts to get freaky, guys, because I get my broom. It's one of those little half brooms that you like little kids use or something, right? They sell at the pulga, that type of thing. So I'm getting ready to swing. I pull it back, and I swear this cockroach had like Spider-Man senses, because as soon as I was about to swing, it started flying. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard a flying cockroach, but it's the nastiest sound in human history. It's like, it's nasty, it's crunchy, it's disgusting, it makes you want to queeze. And that thing was huge, right? So I got this giant flying hippo coming right at me, right? And it just comes right to me, and instead of like, you know, minding its own business and going about its way somewhere else, you know what it does? It flies directly into me. I freak out and I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to do? It flies directly into my apron pocket. Now, at this moment, I see my manager, and he's doing the Vince McMahon march, walking over from the office. He's like looking, like he's trying to like find it with like binoculars, like night vision goggles, whatever. He's looking all over. He's like, where the heck is this cockroach? And then he finally spots me. And at this point, there's a giant crowd watching around me. And once the cockroach flew into my pocket, you would think that people would come to my rescue, but instead they were laughing at me. They were like, ha ha ha, this guy, what a loser, right? There's a giant cockroach in my pocket right next to my tip money, which I was saving up to treat the honey. So I take off the apron. I'm like, get this thing off me, right? So I unstrap my apron, I toss it on the ground, and again, there's a lot of people watching me at this point, and they're still laughing as if it's funny, right? So I get my little mini broom and I start, I'm just pass. I'm just going right into the apron, smashing, right, with the broom, pass. And you would think that all these blows that I gave would be enough to kill the cockroach, but that thing was built different, because as soon as my manager pulls up, he's like, what happened? Did you kill it? Did you kill the cockroach? Did you save the restaurant? And I'm just like, I think so, because I just went like turbo on it, right? Turbo mode. And I get the broom, like the stick end of the broom, I lift up the pocket. Pues no lo vas a creer. The cockroach comes out of the pocket and it's still alive. It's just... Now, it didn't fly again this time. I guess I had crippled it with my swings. So at this point, it was just walking. It's like the song La Cucaracha. He couldn't walk anymore because he was probably missing legs at this point, because I had gone hard on him. Now, at this point, this is when I pull up the broom one more time and I give the final fatal blow. The crowd goes wild. You saved the restaurant. Guys, it could have been one of those like Ratatouille moments where the guy like opens the door and he sees like 500 rats. If I had not put a stop to this by killing that cockroach, he could have been fruitful and multiplied all over the restaurant. And there would have been cockroaches all over. There would have been cockroaches in the macaroni and the pizza, everywhere. So honestly, I'm feeling like a hero, right? The crowd goes wild. I killed the cockroach. It was a flying cockroach too. If you guys ever fought those, you know those are built different. So after I killed the cockroach, my manager again, he's there, and he does not look amused like everybody else in the crowd. Instead, he looks me dead in the eyes and he goes, Diego, why did you have to make such a scene about it? I was like, make a scene about it? I saved the restaurant. We could have gone out of business. Right? No, he's like, no. You didn't have to kill it like that. You could have been more discreet. You could have been, you could have. I was like, being discreet. The cockroach broke discretion as soon as he crawled over the little half wall and made a scene in front of everybody. He was like Taylor Swift in the middle of a dome. Everybody had seen him already. I saved the restaurant. You would think he would have been a little bit more grateful for what I did for the restaurant. And honestly, to this day, that restaurant is in business. So to be honest, I think that was on my shoulders that restaurant is still in business. But that's besides the point. So yeah, that day I changed, and my whole perspective on life changed, because I think that was the day I thought it was all going to be over and I was going to die. Because if you've ever seen the eyes of a cockroach, especially a flying one, you just know your whole life flashes before your eyes. You don't know what to expect. Well, thank you guys for listening in, and that was a story of the time that I had to square up against the flying cockroach at my restaurant, my first job. Again, thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, thank you for subscribing and for getting us to 200. I have a 200 subscriber wrap that I'm gonna do where if you guys have been here from like a while back, I did a 79 subscriber wrap where I named all of my subscribers, or at least the ones that have their profile set to public, and I wrapped their names because I wanted to thank you guys personally, and that's just something that I think I have fun with doing. Frankly, I can just do a little wrap and name you guys one by one. So stay tuned for that, because that's coming soon. And thank you guys so much for the support on Wrapped Up Wednesdays as well. We have a new episode coming this Wednesday, so you guys can look forward to that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support, and we love you. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you.